issue to ask of one last issue, Mr. Chairman, and let me ask the Secretary. Secretary, what is the procedure and who signs the final order for pardon?
On the matter of executive clemency,
Yes.
Senator, the matter is processed by the Board of Pardons and Parole.
Mm-hmm.
So they review the carpeta or the case files of the person concerned
Mm-hmm.
and determine if there will be sufficient justification to recommend the grant of executive clemency to that person, whether it be absolute pardon, conditional pardon, or commutation of sentence. Then that recommendation is submitted to the Secretary of Justice, if I'm not mistaken. So it goes to us, and we transmit that to the office of the President. Now, if the recommendation...
So there is a vetting process.
Sorry, sir?
There is a vetting process.
There's a vetting process, obviously, Mr. Senator. So if the recommendation of the Board of Pardons and Parole is negative, not for the grant of executive clemency, then that's the end of it. Nothing for us to transmit to the office of the President anymore. But that fact alone does not preclude a direct recourse to the office of the President, because the power of the President to grant executive clemency is plenary and absolute. It doesn't have to depend on the recommendation of the Board of Pardons and Parole.
And that is constitutional.
And that is according to the Constitution.
So the Constitution authorizes the President.
Yes, absolute and plenary power.
Is there any other mode to reduce one sentence? So you have pardon, what else do you have?
This, example,
Parole.
the GCPA is one
Is the
avenue
other- yes.
to shorten the sentence, and of course, well, parole is totally different matter.
The
It's
parole,
a
how does
conditional
it work?
release.
How does that work?
Parole is a conditional release granted by the Board of Pardons and Parole, subject to certain conditions like visiting the parole officer occasionally or from
Yes,
time to time.
yes, yeah.
And if there is any violation on the part of the parolee, for example, he commits a crime, then that parole will automatically be
So
revoked.
it's
and
still, it is the same board.
same board, the Board of
Okay.
Pardons and Parole.
And who signs it? The Secretary of Justice?
No, the Board of the Board of Pardons and Parole has control over this matter, but the Department of Justice, Senator, is represented in the board by one of our undersecretaries,
Yes.
who acts as chairman
Oh,
ex
who
officio.
issues the parole? Who authorizes the parole?
The Board of Pardons and Parole.
Who is the final signatory?
Well, all of them, all of the members of the board.
So
of
it is a
Pardons-
resolution passed,
A resolution passed by the board.
and that is found in law, creating that board.
Yes, sir. I think in the indeterminate sentence law,
Okay?
or
Okay.
all
And
right,
now,
its own law on the
and-
Board of Pardons and Parole.
and today we're discussing Republic Act 10592.
That is correct. That is a totally different
Correct,
matter.
correct. And in 10592, it is a very short law. It is only 3 pages long.
That's what I noted. There,
Yes.
nowhere as close as to be found in that
Yes,
law.
there's no declaration of policy. Now, having said that, Mr. President, what section in this law authorizes the Director General to release any prisoner under this law?
Nothing.
There is nothing.
There's nothing.
So why is it that the Director General has the authority today to release prisoners under this law? If there is nothing in the law that authorizes him to release.
Well, it must be based on some other law, not on the GCPA. Bureau of
Okay.
Corrections Act. It's the law that strengthens the board or the Bureau of Corrections that authorizes.
Okay. But it is not in this law.
No, not in that law.
Okay?
Some
Now,
other law.
Some other law.
The BUCOR law.
Okay. So you mean to tell me the BUCOR law authorizes the Director General to release prisoners? To approve the release. Okay? Now, remember, we're talking about the law 10592. All these issues was brought about because of this law.
Yes.
And when I review the law, there is nothing here that authorizes the Director General ordering the release of any prisoner based on the time allowance granted here. Section 5, Article 99, the title is who grants time allowance, not authority. It does not grant authority to the Director General to release. The title alone says who grants time allowance. Tagabigay lang ng time allowance at tagabilang lang, but not to release.
That
Okay?
is correct, sir.
That is correct. So, how is it that 2,000 inmates have been released by 4 previous Director Generals when there is nothing in the law that authorizes it? Tagabilang lang ng time allowance eh. And that's why there are only 10 sections. Okay? Many of the sections deal with the counting of the allowance. Okay? The Director General of the Bureau of Customs, the Chief of Bureau Jail Management and Penology, the Warden, tagabilang ng allowance. But not necessarily to release the prisoner. And then you have Section 7, implementing rules and regulations. Now, I suppose that in the implementing rules, dapat yung Board of Pardons din. There is a vetting process. Binilang nila, they can recommend to the Board of Pardons whether or not this prisoner is eligible. That is my interpretation of the law.
In the implementing rules and regulations, Mr. Senator,
Yes.
the creation of an MSEC or Management Screening and Evaluation Committee is created, and
Yes.
that is that screening committee which evaluates.
Yes. In fact, I went over the implementing rules. Nothing there talks about also the Chief of the Bureau of Corrections that he's authorized to release prisoners.
Because it is found in another law.
Yes, I understand. But with regard to this law, I don't see any authority given to him here in this law. And as we said earlier, there is none. Now, finally, what happens now to the 2,000 that have been released? Pahuhuli ba natin yan? Pababalikin ba natin yan? Now, under the same article, it says, whenever lawfully justified. In the same section. Meaning to say, yung pagbilang ng time allowance, dapat lawfully justified. Kung hindi siya lawfully justified, baka pwedeng ihuli ulit. I suppose that's where the President is coming from. If the President did order na hulihin ninyo ulit lahat yan. Siguro nakita ng Pangulo o yung sino man ang nag-advise sa kanya that there is this section whenever lawfully justified. Could you care to comment, Secretary?
I noted that particular phrase as well. Mr.
Yes.
Senator.
Yes.
Whenever lawfully justified,
Justified.
then PCPAs shall be or may be granted by the BUCOR chief or the BJMP chief, and so forth and so on. So conversely, if the grant is not justified, or rather the basis for the grant is not justified, then it follows that the grant is null and void.
Okay.
And for that
So-
reason, appropriate remedial action may have to be taken. As to what exactly that is that a recommitment? Is that by virtue of a warrant? That's something for us,
Yes,
for us
to
further
consider, yes.
flesh out.
Yeah, so, in summary, one, I think we agree here that nothing in the law, in this law, authorizes the Director General to release prisoners. Not he, not the Chief of Bureau of Jail Management and Penology, and not a warden. There must be a procedure. And I suppose you have to take this law with all the other laws together in releasing prisoners. No? Okay? And second, meron palang pwedeng gawin doon sa 2,000 pinakawalan, pwedeng gamitin din yung batas na to para hulihin dahil hindi lawfully justified. So thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Secretary.
Thank